Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.
And welcome to another edition of Inside PressBox. I'm your host, Stan the Fan Charles. The MLB deadline, trade deadline, has come and gone, and the Orioles roster remains the same. General Manager Dan Duquette made a decision Tuesday to pass on Phillies right-hander Joe Blanton. How will that decision ultimately affect the O's? This week on the show, we'll talk to PressBox columnist, longtime baseball writer Jim Henneman. He'll be here to discuss how the O's shape up for the final 2 months of the season. With the Ravens in full training camp mode, we'll head out to M&T Bank Stadium, where Inside PressBox intern Derek Watte caught up with some fans who say for this year's team, it's Super Bowl or bust. But joining me first is a man who's felt the pressure of playing in the big game and is now looking to add another championship to his resume. He's the big guy sweating. He's the new coach at Poly High, former Raven, former Terp, and now an engineer, and that's Larry Webster. And you're here to talk about your new career as a head coach.
Yes.
Larry, first of all, great to see you. It's been a while.
Thank you for having me, Stan. I appreciate this.
Tell us a little bit about how this all came about, because I got to be honest with you, I lost track of you. The last I had heard was when you were doing the NFL coaching internship, so to speak.
Yes. Well, it came about from the NFL coaching internship from OJ Brigance? OJ Brigance. I'm sorry, OJ Brigance. I had talked to OJ and told OJ I want to get back into coaching to see how I like it. So I told OJ at the time to get a hold of Rex. So Rex was the defense coordinator under Brian Billick, and you know, of course, he was my coach for the defensive line during the Super Bowl run. And
the NFL has a program
yes.
to help minorities mostly, right? Yes. I mean, I'm sure it could be non-minorities, but it's really aimed at getting them in the pipeline, the minorities.
Yes. And OJ, he called, he talked to Rex, and a year later he calls me. And so I went in there, and Rex told me, come on in. So I went in. He told me, see if you like it. So I did a training camp, and I loved it.
You loved it?
Yes, I'm back around the game.
So what's it like then when you do this internship? Is it for training camp only, or does it last through the season?
It's the discretion of the coach.
Okay.
My interns were to the training camp. Most of the guys I talked to, they just did the training camp only.
Okay.
If the coach sees fit or has enough room to keep you on board, he'll keep you for the entire season.
So now, the second year that you did this internship, yes. It was also with the Ravens.
Yes, it was.
But it was under a new head coach, and I guess the fact that Rex stayed there as the defensive coach sort of played into helping you get that again.
Yes, I owe my coaching career, started my coaching career to OJ Brigance and along with Rex Ryan.
All right. Now, you did that for 2 years.
Yes.
And then did you go somewhere else in the NFL for 1 year? Then you went to work with Rex.
Yes, I did. I traveled up to New York and did a minor internship again with Rex Ryan, who was the newly named head coach for the New York Jets.
He was a lot heavier back then.
Yes, he was.
Well, he looks great. He's lost about 100 pounds.
Yes.
So now tell us what happens. You finish up 3 years of doing that internship, and the bonus you get is to work again as an unpaid assistant coach for Coach Roger Wren.
Yes. After doing the 3 internships, I was telling myself I need to be on the sideline. I need to be somewhere for the year.
Yep.
I came home back here to Maryland, and I met a coach named Carlos Dunmoody. I talked to Carlos and found out he was coaching, at Poly. So I asked Carlos to ask Coach Wren, does he have any spaces open? He comes back to me and says, yes, we have a volunteer spot. And I said, I'll take it.
You volunteered?
Yes, I volunteered right away.
All right, so now you do that for 3 years.
Yes.
You were a volunteer.
Well, I'm a volunteer coach. My first year, Coach Roger Wren comes back to me and asks me, do I want to work inside the building? I said, no problem. Yes, I'll do that. So I got a job inside the building, and I was volunteering as a football coach.
All right. So now you get the head job as Roger steps down, longtime coach at Poly, and I think before that, Southern?
No, he was at Patterson.
Patterson.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what's it like to wear the crown as head coach? Your team that's working out here, our videographer Dave Lashley, went 10-0 last year, and the last 3 years, 26-4 with you there.
Yes.
Roger, of course, gets most of the credit, and the players. but what's it like pressure-wise to take over a 10-0 team?
Well, I don't think it's any pressure. I felt pressure before, and you know, like they say, pressure busts pipes, and you know, a little tougher than that, I think. Those are big shoes to fill. Coach Roger Wren was a great coach. He taught me a lot in these 3 years I volunteered with him. I'm just going to go in there and just, you know, teach the boys, or teach the young men, to everything I know. You know, I show them all my scars.
Let me ask you a question, a little complicated. Football has become, knowingly now, a much more dangerous game than it was, say, 20, 30 years ago in terms of concussions and the way people end up. Is there something that you now can impart in your players without giving them a competitive disadvantage about how to tackle the right way? Don't you think sports at the high school level and even lower than that needs to reteach football basics? Yes, the basics, you know, that's the foundations. If you harp on the basics, then they'll have it right when they go up to the next level. From, you know, from the Pee Wee League on up to the high school, going to college, and up to the professionals. So you got to teach them the basics, and you got to harp on those basics. And do you think that the industry, so to speak, I'm not talking about the NFL, but the industry that puts people in the pipeline with football, do you think they're of a mindset of doing that, Larry, or am I whistling in the dark? No, I think so. With the things that are going on now at the top level, at the professional level, it trickles down. The ball rolls downhill. So they're going to make sure that they take care of the, the Pee Wee League, you know, to the high school leagues, and give those coaches the proper training, or you know, the new techniques of tackling. You know, back then, some people used to tackle with their heads. Yeah. You know, back in the day. But then as it progressed and the game progressed, you know, they get teaching them how to tackle with their shoulders. So I think that's going to help a lot of students and a lot of players. How much do you follow the old squad, the Ravens? They still your team, or is Rex's team? Yes, they are. I have that Super Bowl ring from the Ravens. I cannot, that's always will be my team, you know. Give me, you played for Coach Billick. Yes. You coached under Coach Billick, and then you coached under John Harbaugh. Yes. Both successful. Give me a quick snapshot, 30 seconds on these two guys. Well, I think both coaches are probably similar to me. They're no-nonsense coaches. You don't have to guess with them. They're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you think they should tell you. They're going to be straight up with you. They're, you know, very, very hard on you on the field to make sure that you bring out the best of yourself. So I like both of them, and you know, they're having. John is having much success, as you can see. Yeah, no question about it. All right, Larry, many thanks for coming in here. Thank you. Best of luck to you this season. Thank you. First year as head coach at Poly, the Engineers. You'll be able to read Dave LaMonico's article on Coach Webster in the Cheap Seats section, brought to you by Ollie's, in the August edition of PressBox, which hits the streets later this month. Right now, we'll take a break, and then I'll return for some O's Talk with PressBox columnist Jim Henneman, so don't go away.
Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Freedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.